comfort?
No.
Who was they as died, dearie?
A relative.
Died of what, lovey?
Probably death.
We are short tonight,
cries the woman, with a propitiatory laugh.
Short and snappish we are, but we're out of sorts for want of a smoke. We've got the all-overs, haven't we, dearie? But this is the place to cure 'em in. This is the place where the all-overs is smoked off.
You may make ready then, replies the visitor, as soon as you like. He divests himself of his shoes, loosens his cravat, and lies across the foot of the squalid bed, with his head resting on his left hand.
Now you begin to look like yourself,
says the woman approvingly.
Now I begin to know my old customer indeed. Been trying to mix for yourself this long time, Poppet?
I have been taking it now and then in my own way.
Never take it in your own way. It ain't good for trade, and it ain't good for you. Where's my ink bottle, and where's my thimble, and where's my little spoon? He's going to take it in an artful form now, my dearie dear.
Entering on her process, and beginning to bubble and blow at the faint spark enclosed in the hollow of her hands, she speaks from time to time in a tone of snuffling satisfaction, without leaving off. When he speaks, he does so without looking at her, as if his thoughts were already roaming away by anticipation.
I've got a pretty many smokes ready for you, first and last, haven't I, Chucky?
A good many.
When you first come, you was quite new to it, weren't ye?
Yes, I was easily disposed of then.
But you got on in the world, and was able by and by to take your pipe with the best of 'em, weren't ye?
Aye, and the worst.
It's just ready for you. What a sweet singer you was when you first come. Used to drop your head and sing yourself off like a bird. It's ready for you now, dearie.
He takes it from her with great care, and puts the mouthpiece to his lips. She seats herself beside him, ready to refill the pipe. After inhaling a few whiffs in silence, he doubtingly accosts her with, "Is it as potent as it used to be?"
What do you speak of, dearie?
What should I speak of, but what I have in my mouth?
It's just the same. Always the identical same.
Doesn't taste so. And it's slower.
You've got more used to it, you see.
This may be the cause, certainly. Look here. He stops, becomes dreamy, and seems to forget that he has invited her attention. She bends over him and speaks in his ear.
I'm attending to you, says you just now. Look here. Says I now, I'm attending to ye. We was talking just before of your being used to it.
I know all that. I was only thinking. Look here. Suppose you had something in your mind, something you were going to do.
Yes, dearie, something I was going to do.
But had not quite determined to do.
Yes, dearie.
Might or might not do, you understand.
Yes.
With the point of a needle she stirs the contents of the bowl. "Should you do it in your fancy, when you were lying here doing this?" She nods her head.
Over and over again.
"Just like me. I did it over and over again. I have done it hundreds of thousands of times in this room."
It's to be hoped it was pleasant to do, dearie.
"It was pleasant to do." He says this with a savage air, and a spring or start at her. Quite unmoved, she retouches and replenishes the contents of the bowl with her little spatula. Seeing her intent upon the occupation, he sinks into his former attitude. "It was a journey, a difficult and dangerous journey. That was the subject in my mind. A hazardous and perilous journey over abysses where a slip would be destruction. Look down, look down. You see what lies at the bottom there?" He has darted forward to say it, and to point at the ground as though at some imaginary object far beneath. The woman looks at him, as his spasmodic face approaches close to hers, and not at his pointing. She seems to know what the influence of her perfect quietude would be. If so, she has not miscalculated it, for he subsides again. "Well, I have told you I did it here hundreds of thousands of times. What do I say? I did it millions and billions of times. I did it so often, and through such vast expanses of time, that when it was really done, it seemed not worth the doing. It was done so soon."
"That's the journey you have been away upon,"
she quietly remarks. He glares at her as he smokes, and then, his eyes becoming filmy, answers, "That's the journey." Silence ensues. His eyes are sometimes closed and sometimes open. The woman sits beside him, very attentive to the pipe, which is all the while at his lips.
"I'll warrant,"
she observes, when he has been looking fixedly at her for some consecutive moments, with a singular appearance in his eyes of seeming to see her a long way off, instead of so near him,
"I'll warrant you made the journey in a many ways, when you made it so often. No, always in one way." "Always in the same way?"
"Aye."
"In the way in which it was really made at last?"
"Aye."
"And always took the same pleasure in harping on it?"
"Aye." For the time he appears unequal to any other reply than this lazy monosyllabic assent. Probably to assure herself that it is not the assent of a mere automaton, she reverses the form of her next sentence.
"Did you never get tired of it, dearie, and try to call up something else for a change?"
He struggles into a sitting posture, and retorts upon her. "What do you mean? What did I want? What did I come for?" She gently lays him back again, and before returning him the instrument he has dropped, revives the fire in it with her own breath, then says to him coaxingly,
Sure, yes. Now, I go along with you. You was too quick for me. I see now. You come a purpose to take the journey. Why, I might have known it through its standing by you so."
He answers, first with a laugh, and then with a passionate setting of his teeth. "Yes, I came on purpose. when I could not bear my life, I came to